Hello! Today's video is going to be another curated collection where I have shopped my stash and then picked out 6 polishes that I think would make a good collection. And today I made a collection for The Last Unicorn. I'm specifically making it for the animated movie version. The book is also very, very close, but the color story that I used is just directly from the movie. So the first polish that I picked out is by Lynn B Designs, and it's called This Is a Fun Plot Twist. And it's a very, very pale gray base that almost looks white and makes it kind of silvery. And then it has an iridescent shimmer running through it that goes from green to purple. And I think that that looks very much like our main character, who's a unicorn. And I am calling it Am I Really the Last? Because she hears a group of hunters talking about her forest where she lives. And one of the older hunters says that this must be the last forest that's protected by a unicorn. She must be the last unicorn, because there's no other places like that spot in the forest anywhere else anymore. And that sets her off on her journey to find out what happened to all the other unicorns, and to even find out if it's true that she's really the last unicorn. Because being immortal, she experiences time differently. So she, hasn't really felt the need to go out and find other unicorns for a few hundred years. So she just doesn't know until she hears that. One of the things I really like about this story is that a lot of the world building is done through the characters. The storyline really shows you what's happening instead of just telling. So for my next polish, I'm using Bee's Knees Queen of Rot, which is just this really, I think it's a Prugly, but it's a very pretty Prugly in my opinion. It's this really brownish red base, and it has this contrasting bright green shimmer. And I am calling this one Mama Fortuna, because she's one of the characters that really does a lot of the world building for you. So she is a witch called Mama Fortuna, and she has a circus, a traveling circus. She comes across the unicorn while she is sleeping, while the unicorn is sleeping, and Mama Fortuna captures her and puts a spell on her to give her a fake horn that everyone can see. And that's how we kind of really get it explained that most people cannot see that she really is a unicorn. They just see a white mare. And it happens 1 or 2 other times, I think a couple times in the book, and she doesn't quite understand. And at least once in the movie where somebody tries to catch her thinking she's a horse. But anyway, Mama Fortuna can talk to her and see that she really is a unicorn. And we find out that there are 2 others attached to Mama Fortuna's Midnight Circus that are also real. They really are what Mama Fortuna makes them appear to be. And one of them is a harpy. The other creatures in the circus, are things like an elderly chimp that she makes look like a monster, a snake, and she makes it look like this giant serpent, and things like that. But the 2 real creatures are the unicorn and the harpy. And then it brings us to our next polish, which is Orly's Ripple Effect. But I am calling it Smendrick, because he is also a real magician just nobody really sees him that way. He's not a great magician. He is still learning, and one of the things he really needs is confidence to be better. And I picked this polish because it's very much his color in the cartoon, and it has a fairly subtle shimmer. So just like him, he looks one way, but there's more to him than that. And then my favorite supporting character, we come to after Smendrick and the unicorn escape the circus. And I am calling this one Molly. This is actually Rogue Lacquer's Lost Boys. This is the only polish in this collection that is a flaky. The rest are all shimmers. And that's on purpose as well, because most of the main characters are like otherworldly and magical and ethereal and different, and she is very real and very practical and honest to a fault, and she will just tell anyone anything to their face. She is not afraid to talk truth to power, as it were. Like, she even tells off a king a couple times. And I like the flakies and the color. The color kind of matches the art design of her character in the cartoon with this like earthy reddish brown. And then I like the gold flakes in it. I just wanted her polish to look more worldly and I guess earthy. Then we have another very magical character, which is the Red Bull, and I'm calling this one Red Bull, the Red Bull, not Red Bull. This is Orly's from the Breathable line. This is Cran Barely Believe It. And it's this really fiery, lit from within red that again looks like the art design in the cartoon, but he's a magical bull that's pretty much made out of flame and a very greedy king. I'm not sure if the king actually created the bull or not. That's not really stated in either the book or the movie. So that's just one of those mysteries of where the bull came from. But there is a magical bull, and King Hagrid, the very greedy king, has commanded the bull to go out into the world and herd all the unicorns into the ocean by his castle. So they're all just floating in and out with the tide. Seeing them in his possession in the tide is the only thing that makes him happy, even just for a little bit. But yeah, I thought this was a very good match for the Red Bull. And the last one in the collection is China Glaze Lavender Haze, but I am calling it the Lady Amalfia, because once the Red Bull finds the unicorn, Smendrick turns her into a human form so that the Red Bull won't be interested in her. And this is kind of her color story in the cartoon, but again, it's, you know, a pale lavender with a contrasting, beautiful shimmer. And she doesn't look quite real or quite human, even though now she is, and she is mortal all of a sudden and has the emotions of a mortal, and that kind of becomes one of the main themes of the story. Anyway, I hope you like the collection, and I really like the story. I think it's a very good book, and I think it's the 80s cartoon version. I think it was 86, but I'll have to look that up and I'll put it on the screen. Did a really good job of adapting it into an animated movie. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the collection. I will talk to you next time. Bye!